sort of lawful.
Oh, yeah, somebody getting together.
Yeah, George.
Yeah, no.
Go ahead,
slam.
I
All right.
saw
My
that.
head has been spinning.
Good morning, everyone. Today's date is Monday, September 27th, 2021. It's 9 a.m. We're here for our Hale County Commissioners Court meeting. First item on the agenda is our pledge and then our invocations by Commissioner Daniels. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right. Lord, thank you for this day and thank you for the many blessings that you've given us this year and as we continue to go. Lord, we just ask for your guidance and your words as we go through another commissioners meeting and that the choices we make are the choices that you wish. Lord, we just ask that for your protection over our communities and over our law enforcement and military. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Good morning, everyone. We're going to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of September 13th, 2021, special meeting September 10th and September 17th, 2021, and a public budget meeting September 13th, 2021, and September 16th, 2021. Can I hear a motion to approve those minutes as written? I'll make the motion. Motion made by Commissioner Purnell. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Kelly. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The next item on our agenda is our audit.
Good morning.
Good morning.
The only thing I have is a line item transfer, and it's from, it's for the county clerk's office, conference seminars and dues for $3,175 to her office supplies for $3,175.
So you've heard the request for the budget, line item transfer in the clerk's office for conference seminars and dues to office supply in the amount of $3,175. Did I hear a motion to approve that?
Also moved.
Motion made by Commissioner King. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Commissioner Daniel. Any comments? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed?
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Melinda. All right, next item on the agenda is our treasury.
Good morning.
Morning, item.
First item on the agenda that I'm going to be reporting is to discuss and approve the 2022 Hale County Medical and Benefit Plan. I'm sure you heard from Julie on Friday, and if y'all have any questions or any more discussions, I'll direct that to her.
All right, we heard from, good morning, Julie.
Good morning.
We heard from Julie on Friday, and so any questions of Julie? It was pretty clear cut.
Yeah.
Things look good, our balance and everything looked good, so.
I guess I do need a decision on, can you help me there on that part?
Yes, on the COVID vaccine coverage
And the medicine coverage.
and the ivermectin coverage,
Okay.
yes.
Take those one at a time, or?
Okay, sure.
The first one is, will cover is the vaccine.
Okay, so, well, there's the COVID testing, and the COVID testing is gonna continue to be covered at no cost to the member. COVID medical treatment currently is treated just like any other health condition, and the pool, the Texas Association of Counties is gonna continue to cover that as any other medical condition. Do you wanna continue to cover it as such, or do you wanna make any different decision on the treatment? The recommendation would be to keep it as is and just to continue to cover it as is.
Keep it as is.
Okay.
So, all
And I'll mark this on
You
here.
make that in the form of a
I'll
motion.
put that in the form of motion.
Okay, have a motion that we continue to treat the COVID treatment just like any other medical issue. Have a motion made by Commissioner Cornell, do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Kelly. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right.
Okay, the next is the COVID vaccine. You have the option to continue to have the COVID vaccine on the formulary, which means that your employees have access to it, or you can remove it from the from the formulary. The recommendation is to keep it on the formulary so they have access to it.
I'll make the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Kelly to keep it on the available, and second by Commissioner King. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. All those opposed? All right.
And then, in addition to having it on the formulary, do you want to continue to cover it as preventive at no member copay, or do you want to implement a copay? The recommendation and what TAC is going to do is going to continue to cover that as preventive with no member copay.
Yes, I'll make the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Daniel, second by Jimmy. Any questions? If not, all those in favor say aye. All those opposed?
Okay. Last one, ivermectin. Ivermectin is the prescription medication they can get, or that members can get at the pharmacy in pill form if their doctor prescribes it. Currently, COVID-19 is not, this medication is not FDA approved to cover COVID-19, to treat or to prevent. The prescription benefit manager for the Texas Association of Counties is recommending that you implement a prior authorization, which just makes it more restrictive for members to get it for treatment or prevention of COVID-19. You can opt out of that policy, which means that your members can continue to get it if their doctor prescribes it. I did check on the cost, it's $53 per prescription, and then I also checked to make sure that if you do have a member that takes that medication and then they have COVID complications and end up hospitalized, I wanted to make sure that taking that medication wouldn't impact how their claims are handled or covered, and it would not. I did get that in writing from Texas Association of Counties. So,
There is actually an ivermectin that is for human consumption, because I grew up in the cattle industry. All it is a dewormer
Yes.
for cattle and horses.
Yes. This is for human consumption, and that really is a great question, because, you know, Tractor Supply, Gevos, they're all selling out of it, and that's the paste that you get for, obviously, livestock.
Yes.
There is, and there's a list in each of your, I left some packets like this, actually I can send this around. There is a list of conditions that ivermectin is FDA approved to treat, and they're listed there. COVID-19 just isn't one of them, obviously it's so new.
I would think with the different treatments that are going around in different doctors, that we wouldn't want to restrict a doctor if he wants to prescribe. I mean, that's just my opinion.
But Julie, did I understand you to say that if your doctor prescribes ivermectin, and there are complications later on for it, that they're not gonna cover it?
No, they will cover it. I wanted to make sure that they would cover it. There won't be any negative impact to the
Okay.
member as far as their insurance coverage if the doctor prescribes that and they take it.
So do we, could I get a motion as to whether we want it to be covered or if we want to exclude it?
I'd make the motion to cover it.
Okay. All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Cornell. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Daniel. Any further discussion?
Can I ask a question, Jack?
Yes, sir.
So if I get cancer and my doctor sends me to some experimental treatment that's not FDA approved, are you gonna cover that?
Experimental treatment, I don't believe that Blue Cross, there's coverage for that. If, there's a prior authorization system that your doctor could go through where they submit the medical information, it goes to the medical underwriter or the medical director of Blue Cross, and they have the discussion to see if it's medically necessary, but experimental treatments are excluded initially.
So gonna cover a treatment that's based on a bunch of Facebook hogwash.
This is not,
It's not FDA approved, and that's all I have to say.
Well, how many doctors do you think even prescribe
Yeah.
ivermectin?
well, and I just want to clarify that I don't work for Blue Cross, so those decisions are not in my control.
I understand that, I'm just
So,
pointing out,
yeah, no, I understand. There's,
ticks me off.
I understand.
Kind
Okay.
of like Jim, I kind of have a problem with something that's prescribed for an animal that people are going out and it's not even on the list and all it is basically a demon.
Yeah.
It's not even in a respiratory.
And I think like Judge Mull said, I think the decision, based on our conversation last week and today, I think the decision is more, do you want to, it is an FDA approved medication, but not for that for treatment of that condition. So, do you wanna, do you wanna put that restriction in for treatment of that? So, yeah, just specifically for that.
Well,
And
like
there's
I
no wrong answer or right answer,
It would
you
be
know,
an
it's.
individual's choice, I would think, but I don't see restricting if that's a choice that him and his doctor make.
Right,
that-
yeah. It's certainly not enforcing that for the treatment, it's certainly not encouraging that, it's just not putting any restrictions if the member and the doctor think that's the route they wanna take. I don't know, it's, there's no right or wrong like anything else with this COVID mess, I think.
I agree.
It's just scary. It's a scary world.
Any other questions or comments? All right, if not, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right. Right, item
Okay, so I have the financial statement for the month, for August 31st of 2021. I think that's it. Okay. So, this is I've already said that it's for the month ending August 31st. The outstanding monthly closing balance is $24,707,096.09. I hereby certify that this report is true and correct and request that you place it in the minutes.
Okay. Any questions about on the report? If none, then do I hear a motion to approve the financial statement for the month ending August 31st, 2021 in the amount of $24,707,096.09?
So, Judge,
Motion made by Commissioner King. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Hale. Any questions? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Okay, Judge, my next item is the affidavit that will be placed in case paper stating that the court has received reviewed and approved the financial report.
Okay, so you've heard the request to approve an affidavit to be published, showing the showing the financial statement and approving it to be ran in the newspaper. Do I hear a motion to approve that?
I'll make the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Daniel. Do I hear a second? Second by Commissioner Kelly. Any questions? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Okay, Judge, my next item is asking the court to approve, or actually to appoint a safety committee. And this is, we're going through TAC on just covering, any kind of safety issues. We're gonna start doing a little bit more training and we're having our foremen do more one-on-one. And we're just asking the court to approve a committee to, I guess, maybe have topics or,
Do you have a list of who you want on the committee?
oh my goodness, just stepped out. Of course, it's Jess Mendoza and I. And we're asking for one commissioner. And I'm gonna safety with whoever else. There you are. Jessica, how many members do you think, I'm asking about the safety committee. Do you have an idea of
Jack said.
5?
Yes, ma'am.
Jesse, Ida, who is
One
one
commissioner.
commissioner. Anybody want to volunteer?
I would say also, Judge, maybe a format of the, not in the same precinct as the commissioner that works, or
I've seen Chris' hand go up, so I'll put him on there.
Chris.
Anybody want to volunteer their foreman? Designate, sure.
So that's 5, Judge?
No, we need one more.
One more. Ellen Burnett.
I'd be happy to.
Thank you.
You can help me in the sheriff's office.
Well, you know, the sheriff said he wasn't gonna be here.
Yeah, okay.
I'd set you
So
up.
we are naming a safety committee, basically to assist with our CAC requirements, or not really requirements, but CAC suggestions that we have more safety training and maybe somebody that would review, God forbid, any kind of safety issue with the county and things like that. So those individuals are Jesse Mendoza, Ida Tyler, Chris Daniel, W.H. Johnson, and Ellen Burnett.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I'll
Do
second your approval.
Do I hear that in the form of a motion? Motion made by Commissioner King. Do I hear a second? Second by Commissioner Kelly. Any discussion? All right. If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those
Judge,
opposed?
Let me back up a little bit. Jess, is there an order or any kind of resolution that we'll need signed? No, just an appointment of
Not
the
as-
committee.
not that I'm aware of as
Okay.
of right now.
So
Okay.
as of right now, we've just appointed a committee.
Well, if y'all set a committee and then y'all may form bylaws or regulations or whatever, then you can come back to us.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. All right, next item are items on my agenda. I once again received a request from the High Plains Food Bank out of Amarillo, requesting donation to their Feeding America project. We receive this usually on an annual basis. We work with our local food bank, and so do I hear a request to approve a donation to High Plains?
I think all the food banks come along tied together. There's a South Plains food bank and High Plains is out there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, not hearing a motion, then we'll move on from that. The second item I have is a couple of properties in the health center that were sold for $250. The first one is at 505 East Fifth. There's a legal description of the property there. Do I hear a motion? Can we do both at the same time, or since they're both the same amount? The second one is at 620 East Fifth. There in Health Center. That also has the legal description of it. Do I hear a motion to approve the sale of these properties?
Don't make a motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Cornell. Do I hear a second? I'll second. Second by Commissioner Daniel. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right. And then my last item is Jesse Mendoza had come to me. What we're looking to do is we have some people that are in county employees by profession, but they also have some skill sets as far as carpentry and, you know, nothing professional. We're not talking about electricians or plumbing or anything like that, just some handyman or handy lady type work. And so what we had asked to see if we could possibly hire someone that was willing to do some of that work on a contract labor type, I guess, contract for the amount of $20 per hour. And I couldn't tell you, we don't have a project set aside right now that I can tell you that we're gonna do. But, you know, just like coming in the basement there, that entryway, you know, facing that's coming off the side. You don't do that type of work. And so, do I hear a motion to approve us being able to hire someone? And it's gonna be several people. I don't want to restrict it just to one individual. There may be more individuals, but, and if we would run across some project that was going to be, let's say above $400 in amount.
Who's gonna oversee this and see the qualifications of whoever ends up doing this work? Is that Jesse?
Or do I hear a motion to approve someone to hire, if we could find someone that was willing to do it for that amount of money on contract labor?
Well, what if we included not only county employees, but anybody?
I'd say
I
anybody.
think it should be open to anybody.
Yes, sir.
As far as the county employee goes, someone works for the county, you've got to be very careful because if you hire Lorena, for example, to fix the facing down there, that's not part of her. I mean, she doesn't do carpentry work for the county, but if you, for example, a precinct hand, then you probably can't do that. You see what I'm saying? I mean, if it's somebody, it's kind of like if you were gonna say, well, we're gonna hire deputies on a contract basis to be security at the buildings or something.
Okay.
That's, you can't take an employee and then start paying them, contract pay for something that might be in their job description.
Okay.
So that makes
I
sense.
agree.
That's the only
Okay,
caution
then,
I'd
let me
provide
just
there.
table this, and I know Jesse had spoke with Ida, but let me just table this, and we'll come back after we have a little bit of
I
details.
think it's, you know, somebody outside.
I think an
contract.
employee, like Jim just said, guys, he's saying that maybe in the precincts, that would be part of their job.
I mean, if you hired a
But
deputy to do that, I think.
he doesn't have a problem with somebody like Lorena, because she doesn't do that as part of her duties, you know? But as far as, like, for example, Ellen, you know, she's crafty and knows how to handle power tools. You know, if you wanted to hire her, that would be different, because it's not within her job responsibilities and duties. Like your guys do fix things, your guys do work on stuff, and that's what he's saying. I guess I'm trying to say there's really no need for tabling if that's clarification for y'all.
But we are gonna pay this person through accounts payable.
Yes, sir, yes, ma'am. And I would issue a 1099.
I think so.
Well, would you guys help us find something?
Can I add to that, sir?
Yes.
So, and where this came about, gentlemen, is we had a fire marshal come in and inspect this courthouse and the jail. And so there's some things that need to be fixed on a pretty quick basis to keep us in line. So, and one of those things, if I looked at it and if I went through a professional, it would cost quite a bit of money. I can give you numbers on that. But it's just pretty simple work that needs to be done to get us in compliance. And then there's that continuing maintenance, like the basement, so on and so forth. And that's where that idea came from, is when we need something done, we can call on a person that has that skill set, like the judge said. But it would be outside what they normally do, like Ms. Tyler said, if that helps you.
That was another thing we discussed, Harold, is that they would not be able to do it within their hours of work. It would have to be before or after. That's correct.
We can continue to look for somebody to do this work, but, you know, it's the same thing with any business in town right now. It's hard to get anybody to do anything as far as labor. Whether you need plumbers, electricians, they're all busy and they're all behind. It's just very difficult to get anything done. I've never seen anything quite like it, to tell you the truth. But we can continue to look. We have a problem trying to get these things done.
Okay. Well, let's give y'all the opportunity to look, go back on the 11th of October, maybe with a more definite plan on our end, if you haven't found somebody by then. If you find somebody from outside that is willing to do that, then that's fine. We're just needing somebody.
Or you could go in, I don't know if she would want to say this, she could go in and hire a part-time maintenance guy, you know?
Then you get into benefits, judge and all that stuff.
Budget.
And they're, well, I know the budget part, but if they don't work over, 35 hours, then they're still, it's kind of like Carla's person, she said, they don't get any of the benefits either.
Okay, well, we'll look at this, we'll table it for today. And see if we can revisit on that in October. Next item we have is from the sheriff's office. Our new safety committee.
Just glad she showed up.
Okay, first off, I have personnel. We have a few new hires. First person is Ryan Hernandez coming in as a patrol deputy, a 17-1 with a bi-monthly rate of $13.38.12. Effective date was September 17th.
Anyone else coming in at that rate?
I'm sorry.
Okay, all right, so you've heard the request on Ryan Hernandez.
Yes, sir.
At a pay group 17, step 1, 13/38/12 bi-weekly, and the starting date was September 17th. Do I hear a motion to approve this request? Motion made by Commissioner Kelly, do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Daniel. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed?
Next, I have Nicholas McClendon, an uncertified jailer coming in at 13-1 with a bi-monthly rate of $10.98.26. Effective date is September 22nd. And I have one other person coming in at that same rate. It is Zachary Williams. He is a certified jailer, that's the only difference, one's not certified, one is. And same effective date.
Same pay rate and everything?
Yes, sir.
All right, we have a request for Nicholas McClendon and Zachary Williams, both at 13, step 1, bi-weekly rate of $10.98.26, and both effective date of September 22nd. Do I hear a motion to approve those? I'll make the motion. Motion made by Commissioner Cornell. Do I hear a second? Second by Commissioner King. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. All those opposed? All right.
Next, sheriff has his renewal notice for leads online, being utilized by CID. It is $2,655. And he pays for that out of investigations.
Okay.
His budget.
You've heard a request on Leads Online, which is an investigative tool that the sheriff's office has used for a number of years now. The annual rate is $2,655. Do I hear a motion to approve this request? Make the motion. Motion made by Commissioner Daniel. Do I hear a second? Second by Commissioner Kelly. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed?
And I have one more for equipment. It is a CLE pepper device. It is to be paid for out of his asset forfeiture. He already did concur with Mr. Tyree that it can come out of that fund. It is $29,998.75.
All right, we heard from the sheriff on Friday, there's some issues with Taser Group and some of their liability that they were willing to assume or had assumed all these years. They're no longer going to assume any liability.
It changed in August of this year.
Okay. And so David came Friday and explained to us about this pepper device, which was basically, I guess, gonna replace the tasers. And so, do I hear a motion to approve the purchase of this CLE pepper device, to be purchased out of asset forfeiture account in the amount of $29,998.75?
This is used as a less than lethal tool.
There is training.
Yes, we've already started training this past Saturday. We have 2 certified instructors in our department right now.
So do I hear a motion to approve that? Motion made by Commissioner Kelly. Do I hear a second? I'll second. Second by Commissioner Gaines. Any questions? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? All right. Thank you, ma'am.
That's it. May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am. Have a good day.
Thank you.
All right, next item we have is Commissioner Precinct.
All right, this has to do with the Benji Cemetery, and Mark Warren contacted me a while back. What I originally thought we were going to do was just go through and drag up the roads and smooth them up, maybe fill a few potholes or whatever. But since this is kind of going on, they're actually wanting us to furnish some wrap material, the patch material that I get from Randy Woods, and maybe some caliche.
Now, when you said Randy Wood, you mean Texas?
No, he's not
Oh,
with
okay.
Texas, he's with Vulcan
Okay.
Asphalt. He's retired from Texas a while back.
Okay.
And I talked to Jim first when I thought all we were gonna do was drag up roads, and he said that was okay. And then this next part of it came together about wanting us to donate some road material. So then I went to Melinda, and we discussed, and then Melinda went to Jim, and it looks like there's a fine line there, so now I'm going to defer to Jim, and he can explain what his point of view is.
So, we've got, I guess, we've had a couple of questions here lately about maintenance on cemeteries, and the statute, I think it's in the local government code, but I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, says that the county can do maintenance in what they call it an historic cemetery, which is a cemetery, and I can't remember the, I think I'm not very reliable, but it's either a grave that's either 50 or, I don't think it's, I'll use my cheat sheet. Yeah, at least 50 years. There has to be a grave site in there at least 50 years old. And of course, the Plainview Cemetery, the first headstone says, or the headstone says first burial in the cemetery is December 24th, 1888, so we're good there. It just, the statute says the county can do maintenance in those cemeteries. It doesn't really, I don't think, defines that, what maintenance consists of. The way I understand the law is, and I've suggested, Jimmy had a question about the cemetery out at Edmondson, and the way it's written, it says the county, so I suggested that it's not really a commissioner decision as much as the whole court's decision, but I think it's really comes down to according how much the county's willing to, as far as time, money, materials, whatever, what you're willing to expend. I would think that, once you do one, and again, just because, let's say you did everything they're wanting to in Plainview, if somebody else comes up and says, we want the same thing, you don't have, it's a, I would say case-by-case decision, but, I think if you look toward the future, you're probably gonna see, people wanting similar services, so to speak, so. I think it's, again, it's the court's decision as to how you're gonna expend the county's resources, so.
Well, when I thought about this over the weekend, this is starting to look to be like that dumpster thing they tried to do in September. It started out as gonna be one weekend, put the dumpsters out there and they hauled it off. And then it became another weekend, and then it became, can you furnish dumpsters for the whole neighborhood? And then the rest of the county chimed in and said, well, if you're giving them free trash service, you need to give us free trash service. So I can see this, I think it would be a good thing, but I can see this being never ending for precinct 1. So
It's not gonna be the only one.
no. So y'all chime in and tell me what y'all think. That's been going through my mind for, and I can see Melinda shaking her head because I'm a dumpster.
Well, that's something that did come up, obviously. That is something that did come up, obviously, in my precinct. And it was, I was looking at the exact same issue. Is that, you know, it's not just one cemetery in Hale County. It's gonna open it up to everyone that's out there. And that, to me, that would result in having to hire somebody else strictly just to take care of it.
You know, we've seen instances in the past and we will in the future. For example, with Ollie Minor Center. We don't have enough labor to do what we need to do to take care of the stock shows and so forth sometimes.
Sometimes we don't have enough labor to take care of the roads. We
But
don't have-
sometimes we don't. And I don't believe we need to get the business of maintaining cemeteries. Like Jim and everybody else has said this morning, that if we ever start that on one, we're gonna be, I feel like we'll be obligated to do others. There's several cemeteries in Hale County, and I just don't think we have resources to go there. Now, I appreciate the desire to fix it up, you know, this Plainview Cemetery, which is the one you're talking about, Mark, it needs a lot of work. It's, you know, it is an old historical cemetery. We have a lot more folks out there. It needs a lot of work. I was looking at the trees, there's lots and lots of dead trees there. It needs to be cut down and a lot of work. But I'd be interested in talking to some of the board members and see, I don't know how they're funded or, you know, how they stand on their funding or so forth, but I just don't believe the county needs to be maintained.
So are you requesting to do that, or are you gonna okay, so you're making a motion to patch the roads at the Plainview Cemetery? Okay. You've heard the motion, do I hear a second? Do I hear a second? All right, your motion dies due to a lack of a second. Next item we have is, and Phyllis Wallow here. I don't see Phyllis this morning, but one of the things that she was requesting is the Downtown Association in Hurricane, a couple sessions, and talked to us about they were gonna provide some Christmas lighting and things like that here at the courthouse. And I think she has contacted Kenny since that time and had asked if the county could help contribute to the lighting.
They came back, their intention was to fund it themselves, but it came back a little more expensive than what they had anticipated, and they was asking if we could possibly contribute, you know, $1,000–1,500 to help this lighting. Some of it would be more permanent type lighting, and so that's what they're asking for, what help with this lighting.
Okay.
I think the total cost, the way they indicated it would be around $4,000, so they're willing to fund most of it, but they are asking for a little help with it.
Okay. So, would you make a motion to approve the $1,000?
Do you have a question, Melinda? I see you just burning up to say something.
Well, I'm just gonna ask where you looking to pay for that. Won't let me pay for anything that has to do
permanent improvements with the grounds, no?
I don't know. I mean, it depends on what you're looking at doing and what that is gonna be, but normally just Christmas lights or anything like that, we pay for out of miscellaneous expense. And all we have budgeted in there is $2,000. That's what you budgeted. So if it is gonna be anything permanent, then you might need to get more information or an actual quote or something, so that we know exactly what that expense is gonna be.
I would suggest we do get more information on this. Or part of it would be permanent, part of it wouldn't, the way I understood, but we can have her come back and explain it a little bit better, and then we'd know.
Well, that just where you can make a decision on,
Well, I put it on here because she requested, and I really thought she would be here this morning to talk to us about it. So let's just table this until we can get more information on that. And then on the Christmas tree lot, we'll do the same thing. We'll just table that until Phyllis is here so that we can have a discussion with her. All right, our next item is with our county attorney. Item A is to authorize, well, I'll let you talk about his items.
So, the first thing I have is just to ask y'all approved my, extension of my Nexus online agreement. Last meeting, I just asked you to authorize the judge to countersign that, today.
Okay.
If you have any questions, I'll be glad to.
Do you have do I hear a motion to allow me to sign Jim's Lexus Nexus? Motion made by Commissioner Daniel. Do I hear a second? Second by Commissioner King. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? All right.
The next thing I have is I'd ask for a closed session, talk about a real estate matter.
Okay, so if we could,